the club is engaging in a project called 4R project. Actually, 4R is a system that goes beyond the 4Rs principle. And so on 31st October 2011, a report of UN suggested that the global population is 7 billion. Now this population is expected to increase to 9 billion by 2050. Notably, the land size will remain the same, which means by 2050, we will need more quality and more quantity of food to feed the growing population. And so, how do we meet that need or that demand? It will mean that we need to adapt strategic and better management practices of the land so to feed the growing population by 2050. And so, 4R or 4R is a system that works on interconnected principle. The first principle is that it's built on social and environmental goals. That is to say that the principle look at the environment. What do we intend to achieve? And the society in general, what is our aim? Then the second has to do with the stakeholder involvement. So to be able to carry out the 4R system effectively, let's say the smallholder farmer will need the services of other stakeholders like agri-extension officers and other 4R or 4 other smallholder farmers whose ideas or knowledge can be brought to bear to ensure that we get maximum yield. The next principle has to do with the 4R. That is the right source of nutrients, the right rate, the right place, and the right time. So with the principle, it helps us to adopt the right practices for a specific type of land so that at the end of the day, yield can be maximized. So the fourth principle is the fact that has to do with the fact that it is evidence-based within scientific principles or framework. That is to say that if you adopt the 4R system in your farming, you can see evidences because there are those that have practiced or gone with that system and the evidence is to prove. The fifth principle has to do with the fact that it is site-specific approach. Site-specific approach. That is to say you adjust your source, your rate, your time and your place to suit a particular land type. So you cannot say because you are practicing the 4R system, you will not even look at the nutrients of the soil. You don't check the management history of the land and you can just apply any nutrients. No. The right source is connected to right place, it is connected to right rate and then the right time. And so with this system, we are looking at the fact that it is site-specific approach. And then it is performance-driven and outcome-based system. The 4R system is performance-driven and outcome-based system. That is to say that with the 4R system, we can observe the best outcome of practice that can apply to a particular field. So we are able to maximize yield or production. The final principle has to do with that it is adaptive management practices. That is to say that it is cyclical in nature. It involves evolution and not revolution. That means over a period of time, we try to adjust the system we are using. And so as part of the 4H Club in DAB, practicing or implementing the 4R principle to ensure that they are able to practice or practicalize what we learn in the lesson, we are able to use these principles. So if we take the stakeholder involvement, for instance, we saw the services of agri-extension officers. So these stakeholders do not form part of those who take decisions for the club, but their expertise or their advice helped the club in a long way. For example, when it came to controlling of the army worms in the farm, it was as a result of stakeholder involvement. We knew the right chemical to use at what time, at what quantity to control the attack of the farmer. So on the whole, I think that this project or this principle is a good system that if adopted by all smallholder farmers elsewhere, we can actually meet the increasing food demand that will come to us by the year 2050, where the world population is expected to hit about 9 billion. Thank you.
I'm a member of the 4H Club. We first cut the trees down, leaving the stem and the grasses, and we employ the service of tractors to come and plow. After plowing, We fence the garden. The reason for fencing the garden is in the middle of the town. So without fencing, animals like goats can destroy our crops.
Animals like goats, sheep, and cows can come into our farm and destroy it. So we fenced the land. After we fenced, we saw that the land was not using enough for us to plant. So we called the tractor to come and plow the second time.
The type of maize that was used on this land was a white hybrid maize. Specifically, the variety was Lake 601. Lake 601 is a type of maize that matures within 2.5 months. It was used because of its quality. It matures very early within 2.5 months. It also has a sweet taste. It withstands harsh weather conditions.
The line spaces was 40 by 60 centimeters. A CPO. One CPO and 40 centimeters by 60 centimeters. You don't want the plant to fight for nutrients, and if you plant one CPO, more than 90 will germinate.
Okay, so the right source of nutrients that was chosen for the 4-H Club garden was a Yara compound fertilizer, specifically Yara liver nutrable. And this type of fertilizer is a calcium nitrate fertilizer having these compositions: 15.4 nitrogen, 25.9 calcium oxide, and 0.3 boron. These kind of soil nutrients might be inadequate or deficient in the soil, and that was the reason why we chose it for our garden. Some other reasons why we chose the type of the nutrients, that is the Yara liver nutrable, is because one, because of its hygroscopic nature, it easily dissolves when it comes into contact with soil water or night dew. Another reason is that the fertilizer spreads easily and accurately, whether it's been applied with a machine or by the hand method.
We used 5 grams of fertilizer for each plant. That was an advice from an expert, which was if the fertilizer under a plant was too much, it can harm the plant.
The right time of nutrient application is 10 days after planting the maize. This is because by the time the plant starts rooting, the nutrients would have dissolved fully. The application was done in the evening because applying fertilizer in the morning or during the day can harm the crops due to the heat generated.
The right place for nutrient application was 5 centimeters away from the plant. This distance was chosen because if the fertilizer is too close to the plant, it will shrink and die due to the osmosis. Also, if the nutrient is too far from the plant cannot absorb, which will lead to the wastage of fertilizer.
On the 12th of September 2021, it was noticed that the crops were attacked by 4 amyloids. As a result, the crops looked pale and some started dying off. An agriculture extension officer was quickly contacted, and based on his expert advice, Protect 1.9 EC was used together with stylet oil to control the pest.
Protect 1.9 is a natural product obtained from soil microorganisms. The product is easily absorbed in plant tissue and ingested by larvae.
The active ingredient, imamectin benzoate, has a unique mode of action, which is different from any other insecticide. It interferes with the pest nervous system, causing them to lose cell function and stop feeding. The larvae die in 2 to 4 days.
The active ingredients degrade in few hours and does not bioaccumulate. The ingredients was mixed with stylet oil. Stylet oils are highly refined oils which control insect-vector plant viruses in addition to insect, mice, and fungal pathogens.
This oil reduces the ability of aphids to acquire the virus from an infected plant and transmit it to healthy plants.
20 ml of Protect 1.9 EC and 100 ml of stylet oil were respectively used for one knapsack sprayer. These quantities were used per the manufacturer's manual. The spraying was done early in the morning because the armyworms does not feed in the afternoon. They only feed early in the morning or in the evening.
The weed control method. Sunfuron, a selective systematic herbicide, was used to control annual grass weeds and some broad-leaved weeds in the maize farm.
The quantity of the herbicide used was 75 ml per one knapsack sprayer.
The amount of the herbicide used was according to the manufacturer's manual.
The application was done 30 days after germination when the maize crop was 2 to 6 leaf stage and weeds were at the active growing 2 to 4 leaf stage.
Application was directed in between rows of the crops and it was done in the morning.
Challenges faced during the implementation of the program have to do with the controlling of domestic animals from destroying our crops.
One of the achievements of the club is that we were able to control the open defecation facing our school premises.
Members, for example, now see that the attitude toward work is positive. Sometimes, even before the facilitators come to call them, and they come out with joy and then they come to do it. I think that this is the very first time some of the children are getting involved in something of a sort, and so they are very happy coming on the ground, coming to have a feel of crops, working and doing all sorts of that. And I think it is positive because some of them will finish school and they want to practice it at home. So we are changing the kind of occupational line that some of them are thinking. And hopefully we can find some of them having backyard gardens, and that is a very positive thing to start.
I want to say that had it not been the type of nutrients that we chose for our garden, the crops wouldn't have been doing well, knowing the nature of the soil that we had.
The existence of the 4-H club in my school is so good. I like it. The 4-H club, the way they expose the children so that the children themselves research into things and then find out solutions for themselves. I think it will go a long way to empower them. So it's a good thing and we have to keep it up. Generally, the implementation of the program, I've seen girls participating than the boys. Plus to me because it shows that we are trying gradually to do away with that mentality of the girl child's place being only in the kitchen. So the 4-H club, it's welcome, and anytime they try to enroll on another project, I'm solidly behind them because we need to empower our children. Recently we heard in the news that Minister of Finance was saying that no more jobs for the Ghanaian graduates. So if we are able to start from this level, start sensitizing them that it is not only a white-collar job that will earn them something in future. By the time that they finish, it will help them and they can become self-reliant in future, not depending, not waiting for only the government to provide them with jobs. Thank you.
Thanks to Fertilizer Canada for supporting us to undertake this all-important project. What we say is God bless you.
We are the members of the Doryumu D 4-H club.